We looks like we're live. Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, YouTube. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to tonight's second session of our Feeling Fabulous 7-Day Self-Love Challenge. Last night we kicked it off with our very first session. Tonight's session is Time is Tight. I have no time for myself. So if you've attended my live streams or any of my sessions before, please be sure to type hello in the comments. Let me know if you're catching this live or if you're catching this as a replay. And if this is your first time watching, thank you so much for joining. My name is Dani 𝙙𝙤𝙩. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. I teach ambitious women effective tools to build confidence and feel worthy again, whether post-breakup, single, or in a relationship. And I am so excited about our 7-day self-love challenge as I'm going live 3 times this week. I'm setting you free for 4 days, and then we reconvene at the end of this month. Along our challenge, I'll be discussing actionable topics on how to manage waves of intense, challenging feelings, being able to navigate conflict, expressing your emotions better, getting clear on and establishing boundaries, and improving communication and relationships. Mom is on Instagram. Hi, Mom. Awesome. All right. So this challenge is catered to those who have a fear of change and those ready for transformation. So let's jump into tonight's session. Time is tight. I have no time for myself. At first, my clients, they tend to think that their problem is feeling overwhelmed by life, feeling like they don't have time for themselves, feeling like they don't have time for things that they love. Sometimes they think that their problem is that they need a relationship. Sometimes they think that they need something else to make them feel whole or to make them feel complete. And I want to speak to that because there is a real, actual importance of making time for ourselves. Making time for ourselves is not this woo-woo, luxury or privilege. It is really important and imperative to our mental health, to how we show up in our lives, to how we operate daily in making time for ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? How, like, Dani, what do you mean by how we show up in our day-to-day life? How does that affect anything? If you are not making time for yourself, you will find yourself feeling very agitated. You will find yourself feeling very moody. Sometimes people will overcommit themselves. They'll tell other people in their life, yes, yeah, I'll do that, yeah, I'll do that, yeah, sure, no problem, yes, 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 rather than saying no and having boundaries. And then they end up finding themselves feeling resentful, feeling like they hate other people, like they hate their friends, like they hate themselves, like they hate their own life. So it has a lot to do with our thoughts. So what are you telling yourself? If you're constantly telling yourself, I have no time for myself, I have no time for anything. It's interesting how things can change if we were to incentivize ourselves. It is very interesting how if we were to incentivize ourselves, just how much our situation or how we put a fire under our behind, how things will change. Now, what do I mean by incentivize ourselves? If I were to tell you, hey, I will pay your bills for the rest of this month or next month or for the year or something like that, if you were to da-da-da-da-da, whatever that goal is or whatever it is that you keep putting off or procrastinating on, right? Say, for example, that you have been meaning to really go out there, put yourself out there, make new friends, connect with other people, other like-minded people. Perhaps you really need to let go of your old former friendships that you know are toxic to you, right? And let's say we made that a goal. Notice how if you continue to procrastinate and not do that goal, what is the underlying reason here? What is really going on underneath that? Now, I bet if I told you, hey, Mary, if I were to pay your bills for the rest of the month, for the month of February, would you decide to go to at least one event by the end of this month? Wouldn't it be funny? I bet that that person would, right? So it's interesting how if you notice yourself continuously procrastinating, continuously putting things off, if there is a habit that you've been meaning to do and you just keep on putting it off, notice what is underneath that. What is it that you're telling yourself about it? I don't have time. I'm unable to. But you know, I bet if we were to pay you, or I bet if we did some sort of incentivize, oh, right, things would change, right? So it's interesting to notice where our commitment really lies on things. So pay attention to that. And by the way, I just want to add a little caveat to that, is that that is something that I work on with my clients, is we look at where is their breakdown. What are they making more important than fulfilling that actual goal or fulfilling that actual habit? Because there are underlying things, there are underlying reasons, there are underlying things that are going on that are operating below that. Clearly, we can see that, right? Because you're able to complete and accomplish other things on your list, but for some reason, this particular habit does not ever get completed, or it gets broken down, or we started and we never finish, or we just have a hard time starting it in the first place. So pay attention to that, okay? So why is that? Why is it that we'll get certain things done easily, we'll create certain habits easily, and some will fall apart? So that is something that I like to work on with my clients and explore. What are you making more important than moving towards your goal or your intention or your outcome? So last month's Self-Care Summit month, if you recall, we worked on the Wheel of Life. So to build on this, I have added the Habit Tracker. So you can use this tool to begin looking at your habits, getting present to how often you're able to be your word with yourself in practicing a new habit. So to support you along in our 7-day self-love challenge, I'm giving you this Refreshing Rituals Habit Tracker for free. So to download it, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, the link is in the caption of this video. If you're watching this on Instagram, the link is in my bio. So when you oh, Mom is on Facebook. That's awesome. I can see the comments here. Hi, Mom. Good stuff. Let me see. I wonder if it lets me actually. Oh, yeah, it does. Good. Great. Oh, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Michelle is on Instagram. Oh, nice to see you, Michelle. Type in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Okay, so so as I was saying, so when you download that habit tracker, you'll see the Wheel of Life. Right now, if this is your first time joining me on any sort of challenge, maybe you missed last month's challenge, the Self-Care Summit month with the with the Wheel of Life packet. So you're gonna fill out according to the instructions. Based on where you are, you're going to put dots 1 through 10, where you are in each area of your life and where you'd like to be. Then you're going to connect the dots and you're going to see it's going to form 2 shapes, a shape of where you are and a shape of where you'd like to be. Then following the Wheel of Life, you're going to see some explorative questions to explore a little bit further and assess and evaluate that Wheel of Life. Following that wheel, right, you're going to then see the habit tracker at the end of this packet. So when you look at that, you're going to observe your morning routine, you're going to be looking at your evening routine, you're looking at your body movement, and you're looking at your self-care. And then you're going to see next to that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where you're checking it off for each day that you actually accomplished said habit. So what I want you to do is I want you to jot down healthy habits that you've been wanting to incorporate into your routines and track just how often you're able to stay committed to these habits. So tonight, in our session tonight, now remember we started yesterday, right? This is 7 days, right? So yesterday was the first day. I'm meeting with you tonight. I'm meeting with you tomorrow night. Then you're going to track yourself Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we're going to reconvene on Monday. So here are some ideas, right? So last night we kicked off the challenge, and in case you needed some ideas, right? Some ideas for morning routine habits. I want to give you some ideas for morning routine, as in sitting in silence or meditating, getting connected to some affirmations. I am going to have a great day. Today is going to be successful. You know, whatever affirmations resonate with you. Listening to something motivational or inspirational. Exercising, journaling, writing, reading. So these are some ideas to do in the morning, right? So you're going to see a section there that says morning routine. This is where you're going to write down some of these ideas, either habits that you have not yet implemented or ideas that maybe you've been meaning to put into place, or habits that you've just now started and you want to make sure you're carrying it out for the rest of the week. So now evening routine habits can look like making a cup of tea before you go to bed, committing to not scrolling or being on social media before bed, looking at what you're doing before you go to sleep. For body movement ideas, this covers any sort of body movement, okay? I don't want you to necessarily think of body movement as hitting the gym, although if you like to hit the gym, then that can be something that you have as your habit tracker. Oh my gosh, Rachel, so nice to see you hopping in here in my live. I see you doing your thing, killing it with your online courses and things like that. So nice to see you, Rachel. Thanks for hopping in here. Just type hello, okay? I'd love to see a comment from you. All right, so yeah, so any sort of body movement. It doesn't necessarily have to be I'm hitting the gym, although if you like the gym, you can put that on there. But any kind of body movement, yoga, stretching, I like to do those kinds of things. That's why I named that right off the bat. But CrossFit, any kind, dancing, any kind of body movement, okay? Peloton, right? Self-care habits. What do you do for yourself when it comes to self-care habits? Now, when I'm saying self-care, I'm not just talking about just getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting massages. I want you to view this section of the habit tracker as in more spiritual health, more as in for yourself, self as in self with a self capital S. Do you spend time in nature? Are you attending any sort of non-denominational church? What do you do regularly to build a connection and an unconditional love for your highest self? So, if you have not already downloaded my Refreshing Rituals Habit Tracker, click the link in the caption of this video, or if you're watching on Instagram, the link is in my bio. Take a look at it, print it, put it somewhere where it's easily accessible, where you can revisit it every day for the next 6 days, okay? And then check in with yourself. Put it where you can access it, and then check in with yourself. Make it a regular habit to check in with yourself and track your accountability, okay? So I hope that you found value to our session tonight. If you did, please share this with a health and well-being bestie of yours, and join me tomorrow evening for our third session of our Feeling Fabulous 7-Day Self-Love Challenge. Tomorrow's session, we're going to be going over seeking deep, meaningful connections, the journey of dating yourself. So I will be meeting you here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much again for joining me. My name is Dani 𝙩𝙀. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. And I will see you tomorrow night for our for our third session of our 7-Day Self-Love Challenge. Have a great night.